everybody, and welcome to Ultimate Property Dashboard, your deals and leads delivered. In this video we're going to go through My Portfolio. My Portfolio is probably one of the most functional parts of the software, and this is specifically for your properties that you either own or control. So here is where we add properties and we can track them in great detail. In an earlier video I talked about Dashboard. Dashboard shows you the summary or the top line view of your property portfolio. In My Portfolio, this is where we can see more detail and we can add, edit and amend our properties. So in this instance I've loaded 10 example properties for you to review. You will see in My Portfolio at the top we've got some key insights of the number of properties in the portfolio, the value of that portfolio, the equity I have in my portfolio, the portfolio loan to value, and the gross monthly cash flow. Now these are examples, so don't worry too much about the detail at this stage. So at a glance I can see information on how much equity I've got and what my balance is of debt to asset value, or my loan to value. So that's quite useful to see. Sometimes we like to balance our portfolios. We want to keep the loans or the mortgages to a specific loan to value. So again, we can quickly see that. That's summarizing all of the properties, all of the information for all of the portfolio. If you add more properties in, it will automatically update that information. If you take them away, it will automatically update that information. So stacked underneath that detail is actual properties, and again this is information very similar to what we've just seen. In the first instance we have the address, then we have the loan to value, the equity, the property appreciation, how much it's gone up in value, and the monthly cash flow. And in this instance, this first one, there's no monthly cash flow because there's no tenant in it. And then we can see a different view on the next property. You can see the equity, you can see how much it's appreciated, and you can see how much cash flow I get from the rent. And that's after I've paid mortgage costs. And again, the system automatically works that out for us. We've also got value, so the current asking prices, the current rents, and we've also got the current demand. So you can see how the demand differs, and you can see both what the current demand, rent change and value change is, and again that's this month versus the previous 6 months average. And then you've got the sliders at the side which tell us how that compares to other properties in the nearby area, whether it's good or bad. So a 32% turnover or demand is generally seen as quite good, but in the instances of properties in SA8 and SA9 it's not. There's actually higher demand elsewhere, and again you can see that when we look to the 85 River Road where we've got 47% turnover of stock. So again, I'm getting very quick insights as to how my portfolios perform. We've got some that are more towards the green and we've got some that are more towards the red, and that's useful for me to understand at a glance how popular my properties are. Also, if you want to look at some specifics about the property in the properties area, we can click on the Show More button. So if I were to click on Show More, I will get information on the current asking prices for similar properties in that area, so 2-bedroom houses, sold prices for similar properties in that area. These are the properties for the last 6 months that have sold. Okay, so we're not going back for 13 years or anything silly like that. We're looking at recent transactions. We have rent values, so the currently advertised rental properties, and also you'll notice underneath each of these tiles we've got some interesting metrics such as the range of prices, the average price as well. And then we've got the key statistics for the area, what the yield is specifically for this area, for this property type, what the average household income is, what rent affordability is, and what sales affordability is. So these numbers are often misunderstood. Rent affordability will show to you how much more the average income is per month than the average rent is per month. So what multiple of income is typically achieved in that area. So the higher that number, the more affordable a property is to rent. And then in terms of sales affordability, what we look at is, for a typical property, how many multiples of the average household income it is to buy a property in that area. And then again, if interestingly, if the figure is higher, than it is worse. So for rent, lower is better, and for sales, higher is sorry, wrong way around. For rent, higher is better, and for sales, lower is better. Okay, so that's our key metrics, and we use the information based upon current averages, so current average rent, current average asking price, and current average household income. So it dynamically moves. We also have the growth performance for both rent, asking price, and yield in that area, so you can see the current trends. And in this instance, I'm coming at this very early on in our development. We're actually still in beta testing when I'm showing you this now. What you will see is 6 months worth of data once we go live, but again, you can see the last 6 months trends in terms of change. And similarly, we can do precisely the same in terms of activity, how much stock is being turned over, so the demand each month, and also the number of listings, how many listings as a percent we added each month. Okay, and then finally some quick insights into local estate agents, what their currently advertised stock value is by rent and by sales. So that's also useful for us to see in terms of performance. So we get a quick at a glance view of the information. We can also view that in a table, so it's nice and simple by flipping across the table. And if you want to provide this to your valuer or to your estate agents, you can simply download using the download PDF button as well. So that's really useful if you're doing your due diligence, or if you're about to attend a valuation and you want to show the research that you've done and what you've based your asking price on. That information is all here. One final thing on this part of the software as well, you'll notice each of these yellow dots is a property. If you click on it, it will allow you to go to the property. So it'll tell you where it is, and then if you click on it, it'll take you to the advert for that property. Okay, so wherever it is, if we click on view details, it will take us away and it will find where that property is currently advertised. So very simple, quick way of finding it. And again, that also works in table as well. You can just click on details and do precisely the same thing. So very useful area of portfolio. Again, if we go back and we look at our portfolio again, one of the other things that we can do is we can add our properties simply by clicking on add new property, and also critically, if we choose to sell a property, we can list the property as available for sale, and other people using this software will be able to see it. Now, it's not going to get loaded onto the advertising portals, it's not going to go to estate agents, it's simply going to be made available basically as a direct to vendor sale. So if you are looking to sell to other property investors that are using the platform, you can highlight that by listing it for sale, and again, you can select the property which you wish to sell, and then you can put some basic information about it, a basic description, and upload some photographs as well. Now, this function is not for property sources, this is for people who own property. Okay, property sources are dealt with differently, but if I wanted to sell something in my portfolio to somebody else, I can put some details on here, list it, and again, it will show in other people's dashboards if they're looking in that area. When it comes to the actual properties themselves, if we wanted to update the property details, we can do that. We can put in information. Wherever there's a red asterisk, we require that information to show it on the dashboard. If it doesn't have an asterisk, it doesn't matter. You do not need to put it in. So a few questions have been asked. Do I need to put my mortgage details in? No. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So in this instance here, I've said that I've got a mortgage. I can say that my mortgage end date is coming up in a couple of months, so I can put that on the 1st of June. I've got my current mortgage balance, imaginary number, 50,000. I don't want to be rushing around putting any other information in other than what the monthly cost is for that mortgage. Let's put that in at, I don't know, £100. So then this will obviously automatically update my portfolio and give me an indication of what my monthly cash flow is, what my loan to value is, etc. I can also put in more information about the property, number of bedrooms, I can put outside space in, planning permission, but you'll also notice at the bottom here I've got some specific dates and calendar events. So I could say I can add in when my gas safety certificate is due, I can add in when my electrical safety certificate is due. Let's pick another date in the month, there we go. I can also put in when my insurance is due. Perhaps that was, let's put that a bit further along into July, and then I can click on save. So by doing that, what I've done is I've updated all of my portfolio. Now it's got some more information in there, so when I look at my dashboard, I've got an increase in my portfolio monthly cash flow. But what I also now have done is I've actually put in some dates as well, some key dates. Now you'll notice in my calendar we've got a little indicator there to say that there are some upcoming events in my calendar. So whatever dates I put into my portfolio will migrate across to calendar, and we'll be covering calendar in another video. So again, you can see here I've got some properties that I've listed for sale. If I change my mind, I don't want to sell that anymore, I've just changed my mind, or I've already sold it, and I want to take it down from for sale, I can click on update the property details, and right down the very bottom I can remove it from sale. I don't remove it from my portfolio because I still own it, I just no longer want to sell it. Click on update, and then no one else will see that property on their dashboards advertised for sale. So that is an overview of my portfolio. Quite a lot of information available to you in my portfolio, specifically about your properties. So just as a reminder, you've got the ability to sell properties, you've got the ability to update your properties and put key dates in. You can also put key financial information in so that you can keep a track of how your portfolio is performing. So that's my portfolio. This is Ultimate Property Dashboard, your insights and leads delivered. I hope you enjoyed that video, and look forward to speaking to you all again in a future video.